Hi, folks. Welcome to developing a publicity plan for service learning projects. We are figuring out this video situation. We're delighted to have you. Thanks for taking the time out of your evenings to join us. I am Justin Vermeer. I am serving in the role of Youth Engagement Coordinator here at the National Youth Leadership Council. Sitting next to me is...
I'm Gina Rios, and I am the professional developer here, also an AmeriCorps Promise Fellow. And we also have...
Marcus Penny as our tech support this evening. He's featured there. He looks better in person. Looking ahead, the agenda for this evening, we've got introductions. We've made ours. We'll invite you to make yours. And then we'll talk just sort of big picture. What is publicity? How do we spread our messages? How do we craft our messages? And how do we build a publicity plan? That's the hope anyway. So getting into it, our goals for this evening are to ensure that you walk away knowing how to develop your publicity goals, how to name and reach your target audience, and just to be able to know how do I most effectively deliver my message based on what story I'm telling and who I want to tell it to. But before that, we would love to know who you are, what brings you here, and what are you hoping to learn? If you would like, please use the chat box in the lower right-hand corner to answer that. We see your names here, but that does fairly little to familiarize us with who are you and what brings you here. And as you answer that, please tell us, what is your familiarity with service learning? We're talking sort of broadly about publicity today, but our end game is to spread the message of service learning. So are you new to service learning, or are you, fairly confident in your capacity?
This is also just to ask, we would like to know how far along you've been progressing, if you've been doing any type of publicity as far as marketing. Have you maybe even branded your service learning? Do you have a logo or anything? So kind of, are you at the very beginning stages of your service learning project, or do you pretty much have a well-established service learning project where you may have a portfolio of things as far as videos, pictures, Facebook, well-established Facebook site, Twitter feed, any other type of like online tangible, any type of thing like that, to let us know where we can help you at, how far along, and or what your needs particularly are.
If you are unable to type, no, that solution won't work. There we've got a message from Rachel. Hey Rachel, thanks for dropping us a message. For those of you who might be curious how we've asked you to do that, there is a chat box in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. It's very similar to Facebook chat or any other chat service. Simply type your message in and hit enter, and we'll get it.
Okay, so we have a comment from Rachel. It says, my name is Rachel, and I work for a foundation that just started a service learning program on 3 college campuses in our area. We just started this last semester, and we are looking how to market our program to garner interest and showcase our success stories. We just got our website up, great, and we have a Facebook page, awesome. So, okay, and you would like to know how to get more likes. Great, this is something that we will be talking about, and I will come back to you when we get to that page. So hopefully I will be able to help you out, Rachel.
And welcome, Rachel. And Gina's written that she volunteers in the Native American community, publishing, film events, etc. Most of the efforts are grassroots, and she's here to learn ways to better help her press.
Okay.
Perfect, Gina. I think that we cover a wide range of publicity endeavors and methods. So if we don't touch on anything that you're interested in, I invite you to talk to us again at the end of shoot us a message at the end, and we'll address or sort of crowdsource that conversation. Jeremy is supporting service learning, 10 years, dang, way to go, Jeremy. Working with high school and college students, elementary, going full service this fall with K-12 and expanding higher ed program. Fantastic, Jeremy, that's awesome. If there's anything in particular that you're hoping to learn regarding publicizing your story or spreading your message that we don't touch on during the sort of the presentation here, the conversation, let us know again at the end. We'll offer an opportunity for questions. And again, thank you all for being here. Let's jump in, shall we?
So what is publicity, and is it the same thing as marketing?
Let's see.
So definition of publicity, the quality or state of being public, an act or device designed to attract public interest, specifically information with news value issued as a means of gaining public attention or support, the dissemination of information or promotional material, paid advertising, public attention, or acclaim. So I do want to talk a little bit about C here, just because in the advertising agency and in sometimes marketing groups, they don't really consider advertising to be publicity. For a lot of those groups, they consider publicity to be free. So it's a free source or free way to get attention to your business, nonprofit, service learning project, whatever. Advertising is paid for, according to some people.
Absolutely. So it's nice to start off on a shared definition so that we're all assured that we're talking about the same thing.
Okay. So how is it kind of related to marketing? So publicity is a component of marketing. This is a statement by Susie Prokel, who is a public relations guru down in Texas. She says there is a fine line between marketing and publicity, but keep in mind that they are two different things. They should work hand in hand. Marketing should begin long before the book or product reaches the hands of the public. Publicity is the process of letting people know that you're marketing something. So when I think about publicity, I think of publicity differs from marketing in the way that publicity tends to be, for me, on a larger scale. So it's kind of when you've already been established. If you have things, or if you've been doing projects for a long time and you have a series of, or have a well-established website, if you have an established Facebook or any type of social media sites, pictures, videos, a number of different things that you have a portfolio for, where you can offer to larger audiences, television, radio stations, so you can give them a portfolio of things. Whereas if you're in the very beginning stages, such as Rachel possibly is in her beginning stage, so you kind of want to start off with the marketing aspects, like how do you go about marketing what it is that you are doing. And sometimes that begins with developing, are you identifiable? Do you have an identity? Is there an image or something that you have that if somebody looks at it, they know exactly who you are? But that gets more kind of into branding. But so marketing, which we'll talk a little bit more about, especially for people like Rachel who are in the beginning. So how can we go about doing different or going about different ways of marketing your service learning project and being creative about it, because that's really, really important these days. And I mean, it's great to be creative. Okay.
So great. So we're curious if any of you have been a spectator of any sort of spectacular publicity campaign, something that really swept through and made big waves, or something that maybe got set up really large and then bombed. If any of you have a story or exposure to something like that, we'd be interested in hearing about it. And again, I think probably the best way is to use the chat box, but an alternative tool is if you look on the upper left-hand corner, just above this PowerPoint slide, there's a capital T. If you click on that, it'll allow you to draw a text box anywhere on the slide. And that's a great way also to communicate. While we do that, But if there is not any ideas, that's fine, because we have collected a few of our own to share with you to raise as examples. And maybe even if, as we move on, feel free to, no, that's fine, thanks, Gina. Feel free to contribute if something sparks a remembrance or one of these examples speaks to you.
So there are a number of different really, really cool campaigns out there. We see them on TV, like if you think about Super Bowl Sunday, things like that. They come up with some really great TV advertisements. But what I have here are a variety of different types of marketing strategies, advertising strategies that are somewhat, a little bit, some of them are out of the box thinking, and some of them are pretty traditional. So these are some of the ones that I've selected that because I thought they were really interesting and they have raised a lot of awareness for what their cause is. So for the first one, we have the Campaign for Hunger. And so it's just an interesting way, a different way of creating an emotional tie while you're shopping and thinking about so you're buying food for yourself, and how many out there aren't able to do that for themselves. So it creates an emotional tie, and also to what is it that this person can do, or what would I be able to do as a shopper to help this particular organization. Next, we have Milwaukee Health, which this is a guerrilla type of campaign, and the Campaign for Hunger is along those same lines. So in case you don't know what a guerrilla tactic or guerrilla marketing campaign is it's taking an untraditional way of advertising or marketing or publicizing your organization. So there's a lot of different ones out there. You can literally look up guerrilla marketing tactics and get a ton of different really cool outside of the box thinking type of ideas. Like Milwaukee Health, what they did is they literally took a bunch of old beds and they spray painted and printed their campaign, and that it was about baby or death, like not having cribs and dying during sleep. We have Brazil Conservation, which is simple photography, but it's very dramatic, and it pulls you in with imagery, talking about their conservation. The next is over to the right or left is Not for Sale campaign, and this is about youth that are being sold out there, which is really, this was a really, really simple, like easy campaign. Obviously youth and you all working with youth, it already creates an emotional tie to people having youth voice. Next we have Charity Water. They have a great campaign. They do, their website is amazing. If you've never checked them out, check them out. Their Facebook site gets a lot of traffic. They're constantly asking questions, which is something that I encourage you all to do. If you do have your own Facebook site, ask lots of questions to people. That way you can get responses. It's a way of gauging how many people that you're reaching. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later. The food bank, this is traditional marketing tactics or publicity tactics using flyers, small handouts with interesting visuals, which is always really good. And they also have their copy and about their organization. We also have the Hunger and Homeless Awareness Week, which is based out of, I want to say this, PLU. Sorry, it escapes me right now. But they created this campaign, and what was interesting about this is not only were they addressing their what they were about in this poster, but they had activities. So it was a way of actively engaging and getting people a way to contribute by showing what it was that they were doing on a daily basis and who was going to be a part of it and things like that. Next, we have Recycled Ideas, which is actually based off of an Etsy site, the Etsy site. And it's another way of guerrilla marketing or guerrilla campaigning, which is, I have an example of that in the next slide. Flash mobs are extremely popular right now. which is it's another easy, fun way to create attention. And, you know, sometimes it creates attention to where you can't even get TV attention. It gets re-YouTube, things like that. The Girl Effect, amazing, amazing, amazing video. Really tugs at the emotional side of education for a girl. It's a couple-minute video, but if you have not seen it, check it out. It's really, really good. There's no talking or anything. It's all words, but it's very, very emotional.
Fantastic. And then Jeremy has written that the cost of war campaign took budget for the Department of Defense and spread it out over each day of the year, and then compared it to things that we could do to bolster up our own infrastructure here, like a year of Head Start for 55,000 preschoolers.
Oh, wow.
Like, that's exactly as Gina was saying. It's very compelling because it's like, it's visualizable, and it sort of tugs at the emotion and the logic. It's very compelling. Mm-hmm. So, and then 350.org uses infographics.
Oh, yeah.
Super simple ways to spread fairly complicated messages. These are both great examples. Thanks for sharing those, Jeremy.
So next, these are some different ideas of ways to spread your message. Some of them are fairly common, but once again, I'm going to get back into the guerrilla marketing tactics. Because they're just really popular right now. Another one I can think of that I would encourage you guys to watch is the company Greenworks. It's Green, W-O-R-K-S, not W-E-R-K-S. But they have a video, and what they do is reverse graffiti, which is really interesting. So what they did is they used this soap, the Greenworks soap, and they stenciled on the wall, maybe you guys have seen it, stenciled on the wall where the pollution from cars were, and they spray it overnight, and it creates this gorgeous forest scene. So it wasn't like they were damaging any property or any sort. If anything, they were bettering and beautifying the community in that regard, while marketing and advertising their product. So we also have a new thing that I'm fairly familiar with. Maybe some of you aren't, but zines are really, really a cheap and effective way to get a message, a lot of what you want to say out there with one sheet of paper. And I would encourage you guys to look up what a zine is. It's literally all you're doing is taking a sheet of paper with whatever information you want on it. You fold it in half, you make a slit, and then you're literally just folding it up and making a small book. So those are really fun because you can be really creative with them. I've seen a lot of them that are handed out that are done really professionally or have great graphics. There's also ones too that are simple cartoon sketches and done in a comic type of way that is relating or relaying your information. And so that's a really easy, cheap way to do it. And just so you know, I would check out if you're looking for like paper or people that give away. I mentioned this to Justin the other day, but ask around people that have paper, like Staples. Paper Source is a good one because I live right next to one. But sometimes they tend to give away lots of paper that they have left over because they're bringing new stuff in. So free paper, good stuff. Also too on here, flash mobs, table tents, radios, old school mail-offs. There's a lot of different tactics. I know for an organization, a service learning project that I did before is we got a bunch of carpet tiles donated. It was close to around 2,000, and what we did is we printed messages. We went to a school and printed welcome home. It was to unify a community that is fairly diverse, and we put them on people's doorsteps, and we put them on the corners of this community. And we ended up, because nobody knew what it was about, it didn't say very much, it created a stir and created a buzz. And it ended up getting us media attention. We were featured in a couple of news articles here in Minneapolis, and then we were also on our local news station, which is really, really cool.